Namaste. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all on this national webinar series Yoga Ramayana Vishwakosha History. Our session with Professor M.K. Sridhar sir today about attributes of Lord Rama as praised by the citizens of Ayodhya.
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचंद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः. Friends, in the previous session we were discussing about how Dasharatha had resolved to make Rama as the heir apparent or the Yuvaraja for the Kosala country. So he convened a meeting or the assembly of the important people and the citizens, the dependent kings, the ministers and others, and shared his thought and the opinion, and all of them accepted. They all accepted because they knew the attributes of Rama. Let us know more about the attributes of Rama and the characteristics of Rama as praised by the citizens of Ayodhya, which is elaborated in the second canto of the Ayodhya Kanda, authored by sage Valmiki. The citizens and the kings says thus: Rama is a religious man, a righteous man, a truthful person, and a man of character, and he is without any jealousy, and he is known for his clemency, and he has the capacity to mitigate the sufferings of the people. Shlakshna krutagno vijitendriyaha. He is of always soft nature, and he always remembers the righteous act done by others, and he is victorious over his sense organs. Mruduscha sthirachittascha sada bhavyo nasuyakaha. He is very soft in nature and very firm and resolved in his mind, very strong in his mind, as elaborated in the Bhagavad Gita second chapter from in the the characteristics of a Sthita Prajna Lakshana, which we find in Rama. Sada bhavyona suyakaha. He is very majestic in nature. Priyavadi cha bhutanam satyavadi cha raghava. He always speaks pleasantly, joyfully, without affecting or hurting others. At the same time, he is a man of truth. In fact, Maricha tells to Ravana somewhere in the Ramayana that Rama is known for his wonderful quality as a Satyavan and a Dharmavan. Bahushrutanam vruddhanam brahmananam upasita tenasyaha tula kirtaya kirtihi yashas tejascha vardhate. See, he always respects scholars. He respects learned Brahmins. Hence, he is known as a man of attribute and man of quality and valorous in nature. Valorous in nature. And he has the capacity to fight against the demons and the gods. And he knows all the weapons, the astras and the shastras used by demons, used by gods and the human beings. Devasura manushyanam sarvastreshu visharada samyak vidya vratasnato yathavat sangha vedavet. And he has systematically studied the important shastras. It is elaborated that the king should be specialized in studying the 14 shastras, that is the 4 Vedas, the 6 Vedangas that you already know, Shiksha, Vyakarana, Chanda, Nirukta, Jyotisha, Kalpa. 4 plus 6 became 10. Then Dhanurveda, archery. Then Gandharva Veda, music and dance and fine arts. Then Ashva Hrudaya, about the Ashva Vidya, knowing about the horses. Hasti Vidya, knowing about the elephants which are used in the battlefield. All these Chaturdasha Vidyas he has excelled. And Gandharve cha bhuvishtreshto bhabuva Bharatagraja. This elder brother of Bharata, that is Rama, he is a man of fine arts and a connoisseur. He is skilled in fine arts such as dance, drama and music for entertainment. Kalyanabhijanas sadhuhu adhinatma mahamati. See, he is of a good nature, of a soft nature, but he does not show impoverishment. He is always known for his majestic nature, decent and dignified nature called Mahamati. He is a very intelligent person. Dvijair abhivinitascha shreshtair dharmartha naipunyaihi yada vrajati sangramam gramarthe nagarasya va. See, he has specialized himself in dharma, righteousness, artha, economic value, kama, emotional value, by the best of the Brahmins and the best of the Niti Shastrajñas or the people of ethics. So, when he proceeds for the war to protect a village or a kingdom, or when he goes along with his younger brother Lakshmana, he never comes back defeated, he comes back being victorious. Pauran svajanavannityam kushalam pari pruchhati putreshvagnishu dareshu preshya shishya ganeshu cha. See, and very interesting thing is, when he has become victorious over great wars against many kings, and when he is coming back, he should be puffed up with arrogance or ignorance like any other king, isn't it? No, Rama is always humble in nature. When he is returning, and although he is seated on a royal white horse, or he is seated on a royal elephant, on a howdah or in a throne, still he speaks to the commoners, he speaks to the citizens, and he looks after the citizens, the commoners in the entire. While coming to the city, he asks the welfare, the yoga kshema of all the citizens and that of the Kosala country. So the citizens are telling that our wives, children, our students, servants and all our Agnihotra we perform. He asks each one of them as to how we have done it and how we are. He asks, and as if we are born, just as we are born, from our parents, as if he asks such question with great felicity, love and affection. He also asks, Vyasaneshu manushyanam bhrusham bhavati dukkitaha utsaveshu cha sarveshu piteva paritushyati. So, whenever he hears that people are affected with calamity, with series of calamity or deep sorrow or melancholy, he becomes very compassionate, because he has such a compassion or empathy, and he also worries. And when we share our happiness or joy, he is very happy and joyful, like a father is always happy and joyful by hearing the progress of the sons and the daughters. Piteva paritushyati satyavadi maheshvaso vruddhasevi jitendriyaha. See, he is a man of truth, man of righteousness, a great warrior. He respects and worships elders. He has conquered the sense organs. And Smitapurva Bibhashi. He doesn't wait for us to speak first. Although he is a king, although he is the son of Dasharatha, still he speaks first with a smile on his face. Valmiki uses the word Smitapurva Abhibashi. He speaks with a smile. The same was told by Kalidasa in his Raghuvamsha, Rama was known as a Smitabhashi, and even the 21st generation of Rama, so many other kings such as Rama, Lava, Kusha's son Atiti, all of them were Smitabhashis, Smitapurvabhibhashinam. That's the word used by Kalidasa. Means all of them were speaking first, they broke the ice first, as we say now in the management. They were not sitting in with a grim face and a grim mouth. No, they opened their mouth first, spoke to the people smilingly, and that was the nature of Rama. Dharmam sarvatmana shritaha. And he never swerved from the path of righteousness, and he always took the sides of the noble people, people who were in distress, people who were in difficulties. Uttarottara yuktau cha vakta vachaspatir yatha subrurayata tam rakshaha sakshad vishnuriva swayam. See, but whenever he wanted to engage in an argument called a philosophical deliberation or Vakyartha, he was like Bruhaspati, the guru of Indra, the divine Bruhaspati. He used one intelligent argument after another, and he even excelled Bruhaspati in his argument and debate and became victorious. And his eyebrows are excellent. And look at his eyes, he is Kamala Nayana, Padma Nayana, Pullara Vinda Yatapatra Netra. It is sometime told his eyes were like that of a fully blown lotus, or like the fully blown leaves of the lotus. That was the eyes of Rama, and he appeared just like Sriman Narayana. Sakshad Vishnu Riva Swayam. Ramo Lokabhiramoyam Shaurya Veera Parakramaihi Praja Palana Sanyuktaha Naragopahatendriya. So Sri Rama is really Lokabhirama, Abhirama, appreciated and accepted by Loka, the people of the world. That way he is fit to be called Lokabhirama, and he is the right person to rule the citizens with his heroism and valorism, Shaurya and Parakrama. And he is, therefore, he not only has the capacity to rule the kingdom, he has the tremendous capacity to rule the three worlds like Vishnu or Indra. Shaktastrailokyam eko bhoktum kimnu mahimimam. See, nasya krodha prasadascha nirarthopi kadachana. In fact, he has such a control over his anger, and he has such a nature of giving the clemency, and he will not return without the earning of the fruit and become successful. But he has another nature. Hantyeva niyamadva dhyana vadhyeshu na kupyati yunaktatyaihi prahrushtascha tamasau yatra tushyati. Means Rama, by observing the sinners, by looking at the difficulties faced by the noble people because of the terrorism perpetrated by the wicked people through a reign of terrorism, he will go and complete and kill the sinners and exterminate them. He will not return without killing them. For example, that of the killing of the Shambhuka, the killing of the Ravana and others, and that of Karadushana and others. With all that, he is known for his serenity and calmness. Shantaihi sarva prajakantaihi priti sanjananairunam gunair virochitair ramo deepta surya ivam shubhihi. he is very calm and quiet while dealing with the noble citizens and very attractive and pleasing to the citizens, and because of his beneficiary noble good attributes, he is shining like the sun with 1,000 rays. Surya iva amshubhihi. And it is said that the earth, which is desirous of having Rama as his wife, according to myths, according to the Indian tradition, when the king rules the earth, the Prithvi, which is feminine in gender, becomes his wife. So, Natham akamayata Medini. Medini, the earth, is expecting and is desirous that Rama should become her husband. So, finally, the citizens are telling, just as Marichi, the great sage, got son Kashyapa, in the same manner Dasharatha got Sri Rama. Vatsa Shreyasi Jataste Dishtya Syatava Dishtya Sautava Raghava Dishtya Putra Gunair Yukto Maricha Iva Kashyapaha. So, it is just as Maricha got Kashyapa, another great sage who became the primordial parent for all the gods and the goddesses. In the same way, Rama is born to you. Balam Arogyamayuscha Ramascha Viditatmanaha. So, Rama is known for his strength, for his longevity, for his health, and such a person is capable of ruling the kingdom. And all, not only us, even the gods, the demons, the other beings, the semi-gods, the demigods, all of them are expecting that Rama should become the next king of Ayodhya. Devasura Manushyeshu Gandharveshu Urageshu cha Asham Sante Janasarve Rashtre Puravare Tata Abhyantarascha Bahyascha Paurajana Pado Janaha. So, not only that, all the citizens of Ayodhya, the dependent kings are expecting and praying day in and day out for the welfare of Rama. Not only them, even the women, the old people, the young ladies are praying that Rama should become the king, and for that they are praying in the morning and in the evening. Striyo vruddhas tarunyascha sayam prataha samahitaha sarvan devan namasyanti ramasyarthe manasvinaha. All these people are offering their very honest, sincere prayers that Rama should be the king. Hence, it is very appropriate and suitable that Rama should be accepted, and he is accepted by all of us. So, O king, go ahead. Just as the Devaraja or the Lord is desirous of the welfare of all the gods, the goddesses, the semi-gods and the hemi-goddesses, in the same way you are desirous of the welfare of the citizens, and therefore in all happiness celebrate the coronation of Rama. And this is for the welfare of all of us, and please accept our request and engage in this auspicious festival at the earliest. That's what the citizens told at the end of the assembly convened by Dasharatha. Tam deva devopamamatmajante sarvasya lokasya hite nivishtam hitayana kshipra mudarajustam mudabhishektum varadam tvamarhasi. So that way we understand in these two sessions or episodes, we know that how Dasharatha was capable of getting or eliciting the opinion of the kings, the vassals, the citizens, the dependent kings, the ministers, before he resolved and to make Rama as the next king. So that way we find the references to democracy, the references to the public opinion, the opinion of the representative, as we have in the democratic nations of the world, the most powerful democratic nations such as India, the America, the Britain, and so on. We also had such a things in those times. So that way, we have to appreciate, even though sage Valmiki was sitting in the forest, could visualize the whole world, the activities of the world, and how the world should progress with the help and the opinion of the kings, with the help of the opinion of the citizens, and that's what we have learned in this session. Namaste, Dhanyavad.
I thank Professor Ji for his beautiful stories about Lord Rama. We'll come up with another session tomorrow. Namaste.